What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Savvy, and welcome back to the Savvy Show. And in today's episode, it looks like we got a spooky one on our hands, guys. This is SCP-3935, Salvation High School. So, straight up, I think it's like a haunted high school, pretty self-explanatory. I'll be surprised if it's not something like that. But with that being said, if you guys are excited for this animation reaction, please remember to smash that like button if you do enjoy the reaction, and also smash the sub button if you're not already part of the family, and hit that bell so you can stay plugged for each and every upload. So without any further ado, let's get this show started. Alrighty, SCP-3935, Salvation High School.
Two 10th grade students report hearing what they described as someone trying to speak under the ground.
The heck?
One of them reports this to her mother, who ignores it.
Sounds like a wolf.
Several female students report seeing faceless things instead of their own reflections in the mirror.
Right, and you're still trying to put lipstick on when you can't even see your lips? That doesn't add up, but let's just keep it pushing.
They do not seem bothered by this.
It's weird as hell.
Students arriving to the school notice that the Indiana state flag is more than 3 meters above the top of the flagpole, attached to nothing. When observed, students claim that they can also see 9 female figures hanging by ropes from the flagpole, which disappear immediately after being seen. A custodian reports seeing something standing at the bottom of the pool, staring at him.
Okay, this is way too much. I'll be already out of here. Like, yo, this is way too much creepy stuff to still be working there, let alone going to school.
At 7:56 a.m., the entire school hears someone whisper the word, "hello," into their right ear.
Oh my god.
During a gym class, senior Nate Bennett avoids a dodgeball when it phases through him. As he begins to sink into the floor, he screams for help. Nobody who noticed seemed motivated enough to help him.
They even seem motivated? Bro, I feel like they were just shocked or just out of fear, just seeing what was happening. I don't think it was motivation. I would be probably spooked as hell. Seeing a dodgeball go through someone and him just sinking through the floor? Bro, you don't see that every day, unless you go to this high school, I guess.
The principal decides to close the school on Friday.
Good.
Inexplicably, the entire student body ignores the principal's orders and shows up to school anyways.
What the heck?
The interior of the school has become non-Euclidean. As the students approach the back of the space, they realize they are moving down, not into. In the distance, they see the archway leading to SCP-3935. Suddenly, the entire mass of students shifts 50 meters outside of the space and are suddenly encased in rock and earth.
What the
The
hell?
students spend roughly 20 seconds trapped in this area before reappearing back in the school. All students report being the only one in the building and, after wandering through the hallways for a short time, coming across a doorway below a doorway and entering the small sub-basement room. Inside, the students report seeing 3 separate visions. A woman crouched over a body of water, blood surrounding her feet and her arms extended into the water up to her elbows.
Ew.
A farmhouse in the middle of a grove of trees that is burning, while 9 humanoid figures hang in the air overhead.
What the hell are those? 9? No, okay, those are not the 7 brides, because there's 9 figures. They're probably just people that just died in the past. Maybe at the school or on the school grounds. That's why they're haunting the school.
And a weeping woman digging in a field until her hands begin to rot and fall apart.
Oh my god.
Once the visions subside, the small black humanoid appears. Students hear the entity say the word, "hello," again, are immediately surrounded by 9 screaming female figures, and then are suddenly in their own homes.
Are you kidding me, bro?
One
This is too
unidentified
much.
woman reports witnessing a weeping young woman running back into the school building. After following her into the now unlocked sub-basement, she is unable to find the young woman,
Did she die?
but is the first to report the collapsed floor. Over the next few days, UIU amnestic regimens begin to take effect. Most of the townspeople are readily convinced that the things they saw were hallucinations as a result of toxic gases blown south from a factory to the north.
Oh,
Sometime
easy.
after the end of the primary anomalous activity period at the school, an audit of the damage by a contractor discovered the collapsed section of a wall and floor leading to a narrow gap in the foundation. A member of the independent team accidentally slipped and fell into the
Damn.
antechamber near SCP-3935.
Hopefully you could come back up.
Without a way to easily extract the individual, their supervisor encouraged them to proceed into SCP-3935 a short distance and see if there was a way out. When the individual did not return from SCP-3935, Foundation personnel embedded in local authorities took over the investigation.
Yeah, so I'm assuming the girl that was crying fell into this little hole and got lost just like this dude. Oh my goodness.
SCP-3935 is an extratemporal, extraspatial, non-Euclidean space located beneath the Salvation High School in Salvation, Indiana. While SCP-3935 is the designation for the specific anomaly mentioned, it is believed that the anomaly currently affects the
Daleport? Isn't that another SCP that I probably have to tackle soon? I'm pretty sure that's the name of another SCP. What the heck? So it's right next door, huh? To Salvation.
entire town of Salvation. The access point to SCP-3935 proper exists roughly 25 meters below the collapsed section of basement, below the school's pool, in a small antechamber containing a stone arch. The original creator of the arch, or how it became buried so far underground in the first place, are the subjects of investigation. Inscribed on the arch is a phrase in English not believed to exist elsewhere in literature. The way below winds deeper, longer. Unspeakable its patterns laid. The lost forever damned to wander. This thing a quiet madness made. The following interview was conducted by Dr. Collingwood in 2002. The subject, Mrs. Valerie Fletcher, was a teacher at Salvation High School during the period of anomalous activity in 1976.
Can you tell me about your time at Salvation?
Oh, well, I already told you about the memory loss. Just can't seem to string things together anymore.
Aw.
I was a teacher, though, see?
What can you tell me about the town? Anything you remember that stands out?
There were always some people who would tell stories, They...
Yes?
What? Hello?
You were just talking about people telling stories, Mrs. Fletcher.
Oh. The young people would go out into the woods and get themselves all riled up about whatever spook or specter they thought were seeing out there. There were things that were strange. Well, I don't know if they were actually strange, or if it's just my memory giving me trouble again.
I don't know if it's the gas or the amnestics that the SCP Foundation probably gave to the locals, but why does she seem like she has Alzheimer's? Like, what is going on?
What about at the high school? Anything strange ever happen there?
High school?
Where you were a teacher? Salvation High School?
Yes, I was a teacher. I taught English, I think.
The heck?
Do you remember anything strange happening at the school?
No, I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. We did have a child disappear once, I think. The last she was seen was by the pool. And then nobody ever saw them again. I think they ended up saying they just ran away. Some of them were problem children, Trouble. And there's just nothing you can do.
Is there anything else about Salvation you remember?
It all blurs together after all this time. I seem to remember there was one time somebody found a girl. They were strung up in the woods. Well, I don't know why they'd do anything like that.
One last question, Mrs. Fletcher. After the earthquake, they found a room underneath the basement near the pool. Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't. Nobody ever went into that room but the janitors, I think. Just storage. Though, I think that girl asked about that room once. She said, well, she heard some things coming from it. She was very interested in it, I think, before she... well, either way.
Thank you again for your time, Mrs. Fletcher.
Was that even useful? Oh my god.
Actually, before I go, do you think you know anything about this?
Those the girls that died?
Well, yes, I do. Those are the... that's the cheerleaders. There were, well, let me think. There were 10 of them, though, I think.
Well, there was 9,
Unless
maybe.
something happened to one of them. There were definitely 10.
The town of Salvation, Indiana.
Yo! So did one of the cheerleaders kill the 9 other cheerleaders? Because she definitely said there's definitely 10, and knowing her memory, for her to be like for sure about that, it might be something, you know, credible to say the least. But still, yo, what happened to the other cheerleader? I don't think they would have emphasized on that. It was definitely 10 if it wasn't the case. Yo.
Anna has been evacuated. An fenced 2-kilometer quarantine zone has been established around the center of the town. Roads leading to the nearby town of Eminence have been removed and rerouted. Foundation personnel are to monitor all known travel routes into Salvation for signs of civilians. Any civilians caught attempting to enter Salvation are to be remanded to the custody of local authorities. Cover story 3935.18, Hazardous Waste Disaster, is currently being disseminated.
Jeez.
The building containing SCP-3935, Salvation High School, is to be guarded by Foundation security personnel. Under no circumstances are any non-authorized personnel to enter SCP-3935.
I want to read that one more time. Way below winds deeper, longer, unspeakable in patterns laid. The lost forever, damned to wander. The sting a quiet madness made. Wow, that's so... God, I wish it made a little bit more sense for me. Maybe I'm just not thinking too deeply about it. But man. And that's it. Yo. Well, that was an interesting animation. I really thought I figured it would be like a haunted high school, to be honest. But I also thought it would be something more like self-explanatory and simple in the terms of it just being haunted, or like a spirit or something like possessing the school, or the school being this one big haunted person or like entity. But it's not per se. It's something more, a little bit deeper that I have no idea about at the moment, because I doubt this animation went completely in depth of the file of this, you know, SCP-3935. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys are familiar with this SCP and you might know a little bit more than I do, please let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and feedback about this SCP as a whole. And also remember to smash that sub button if you did enjoy this reaction, and hit that bell so you can stay plugged for each and every upload. So with that being said, unfortunately, that concludes today's episode. However, I'll catch you guys on the next one.